So actually the way I found this lead was by using Sound Match. And if you don't use Sound Match to find sounds in Omnisphere, you definitely have to do it. All right, I think it's been like 2 or 3 years since I covered any type of like Shoreline Mafia tutorial. When I had made that other video, they were still a group, but we're still gonna cover the style of beats. But let's get into it. All right, as always, before we start, let's hear the whole beat. All right, so the first thing I started with this particular beat was the keys. Sometimes I start with the bass lines, but for this one, I started with the keys. So let's go ahead, break these down real quick. This is Keyscape. This is the preset I used right here. And the keys are very simple. We are in C minor for the scale. So we start off with the C minor chord. You see here's the root, C, the third, and the fifth, or you could skip every other note, create that C minor chord, and then it gets played again. So I actually take these chords over here and we'll go like this because it gets repeated. And we'll just break it down over here real quick. So it starts off basic C minor chord right here. And then we hit C one more time before we drop into the same chord, but we take the third and flatten it. We just bring it down one note. So all I did was create that same chord and bring this down one note right there. Boom. So super simple. And then we had the top melody, but before we go over to that, the next 4 bars is the same exact chord progression, right? We just take it right here on the next 4 bars over here, and then we take the root note up to F. So now instead of starting on the 1 of the scale, we're going to start on the 4 of the scale, which would be F, 1, 2, 3, and then F is that 4th note of the scale, and it goes like this. And then over here, I just created a quick melody that just repeats. So it's just this small, we'll break it down in like what, 1 bar right here. So it's the same exact chord. There's the root note, there's the third, and there's the fifth. So that's the chord that you see right here. Boom, boom, boom. And then I added in this little tension note right here, which is right here that gets flattened on this chord. And that just repeats over here. So let me go ahead and mute this so you can hear it. So it kind of has like a little bit of a triplet bounce to it. And then the root notes of this get brought down 1 octave to here. So let me show you how I did that. Super simple. We just go right here, select our root notes, obviously, drag them over and down, control down arrow once, control down arrow twice. And then this melody gets duplicated, hold shift, go over, and it also starts over there on the F. Gives a nice tension. It has a nice dark feel to it. Sounds really good. Then after that, the next thing I added in was the bass. And this bass is actually from Omnisphere. If you don't have Omnisphere, you can get a similar bass inside of GMS. GMS has a lot of nice basses. Just go into here, bass is right here, and then you can audition these ones. And if you go lower. But this bass I actually found in Omnisphere, and it's this bass right here. So I was just going through like plucked sounds, and I randomly found it, and it sounded really good. Has that Shoreline feel to it. So that just follows some pretty basic root notes and then a couple other notes like this. Small little transition notes that stay close together in the scale, so it keeps that like dark feel to it. And up to F. Use the next 2 notes that are close together in the scale. And loop back. Then the next thing we have is this lead. So the lead is going to be, let me go ahead, solo it real quick. Let's just play that. So with this lead, all that's happening is the root of the chord and then the fifth, root and the fifth. So 1, 3, 5, right? Just a simple chord. It's the top note of the chord. And then over here, all I did is sharpen that note to G sharp, and it kind of gives it, again, that suspense feel to it. So it's this lead right here. So actually the way I found this lead was by using Sound Match. And if you don't use Sound Match to find sounds in Omnisphere, you definitely have to do it. So the first thing I did was type in the preset that's used in none major, which is going to be right here. And I didn't want to use it because it's just like so distinct that I didn't want to use it for this beat, but I wanted to use something similar. So the cool thing you could do inside Omnisphere is if you find a sound that you like, you go right here to Sound Match, and then we'll hit current selection. Let's get rid of our search. And now all of these sounds that are similar to this come up. And it's cool because now you can find sounds that are close to that. So if you ever find like a preset in a song that you like, but maybe you don't want to use that exact one, try Sound Match out. Make sure you hit match current selection when you find the sound, and then you can go through right here and find something that sounds good. And then after that, it goes to the drums. But the only other thing I added in for like verse sections was this texture right here. Let me go ahead and play that, and I'll show you what it is. So it's just a chord progression copied over, exact same thing. Sounded real cool, so I added a delay to it. But let's go into Omnisphere, and this is the preset right here. So if you want to find one similar, maybe you don't want to use this one, you can just select it, sound match it, and then hit boom, match right here. Maybe go through some sounds. But that's what this one sounds like. So I actually liked how it sounded a lot. So I went over here, I put an EQ on it, then I put a reverb on it, and then I put a delay on it to kind of accent those delay notes. But here's how it sounds by itself. Kind of sounds like a video game. Then we add in the effects. Sounds crazy. And that just kind of gets added in as kind of like what I said, a little texture, because it's tucked in the back on like the verses. Like you don't hear it too much, and I'll probably add a little bit more reverb to it to kind of space it out. So after that, we just go to the drums. Drums are super simple. We have the clap on the 2 and the 4. Nothing crazy. Hi-hats are super simple as well. Let's go into the hi-hats. Super simple. Patterns right here. Gets duplicated over. Nothing too crazy. I don't even think I put any rolls on this or mess with velocity for this specific beat. And then after that, we added in a crash right here. Just one crash. Then we have another crash that comes in right here. Then we got the stomp, just playing on the ones, and then right before the bar starts again, highlight these right here. The 808, all I did is copy that bass into an 808, and when the bass drops out, we drop into the 808 like this. Up to F. Then we have the kick that accents on the 1, and then we have a 3 hit right here and right here. So instead of doing that 3 hit here in the beginning, sometimes I'll have it hit on the 3 and the 7. And that's pretty much it. We bring everything in together and we get this. So most of the time I definitely add like more percussions, and I go a little bit more crazy with the open hi-hats and the crashes. This, I kind of wanted to just leave a little bit open. I wanted that lead to really be heard. So I didn't go too crazy with the hi-hats or the crashes, open hi-hats or percussion or anything. I kind of left it simple, like the bare bones of it, right? But it still has a good swing to it, and it still has what it needs. But I didn't want to go too over the top, and I really wanted to let that little like spacious lead kind of ring out and take over the beat. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, leave a thumbs up. You guys can follow me on all social medias at Lifestyle Did It. Make sure to hit my site lifestyledidit.com for everything else. Other than that, subscribe to your boy, push notifications. Thanks.